champion scheduling, we have some time. And I'm finally going to use that time to finish Virtue's Last Reward. We don't got any games till 6, so let's get that going. I was going to say, still got the farm open. We're going to get that last couple of achievements there, hopefully. Probably not during this stream, because 10 million spare parts and a bunch of watering is not going to finish it in a couple hours, I don't think. Granted, I'm more than halfway there, so maybe, but this is not a big farm at the moment. Anyway, though, it's self-sufficient. I don't need to stop to seed it. Meaning, Binks here, on this here table, can get some scratches behind the ear and be completely fine. Let's watch this through. I haven't actually watched it yet. Ninth Lion in the Sun. Yeah, I know you want all of the scratches. And whilst there is some time, we're gonna give them to you. We're on the last timeline. And the last few puzzles, hopefully. 7. Wonder if that's implanted the thing I need to implant. I will always choose to ally. I say I had to betray a bunch of people to get to where I am. Let's slide this down, slide that up a bit more, I guess. Trying to get room for all of these windows I have to deal with. Alright. Let's go. It's finally time. Man, when I never have to hear that sound again, I say. Alright. Yeah! Suck on that deer, you arrogant son of a bitch! Ha 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 ha! Ah, that feels good. I haven't felt this satisfied in ages. It's like my whole brain is just swimming in endorphins. I feel like it's just going to melt and dribble out of my ears. This is, without a doubt, what heaven feels like. Honestly, I feel like I could fly right now. Yeah, shit, I'd better get those screenshots with the bomb codes. Hell, I almost wish there was another bomb so I could feel this again. Isn't this great? Fi? Let me just real quick open my bomb screenshots folder. There we go. Hey, what's going on? You're really harshing the vibe here. Would it really kill you to smile? We just saved everybody. Oh, also, not that I need it or anything, but it sure would be nice to get a thank you or something. Oh, thank you, Sigma. You're the greatest. You're so awesome. I'll dress it up in that nice swimsuit for you, just like I promised. Are we gonna get a swimsuit? I mean, just the swimsuit thing would be fine, really, but... Are you even listening to me?
I am. You said you wish there was another bomb, right?
Well, I mean, I don't really...
I hope you're happy. You're going to get your wish.
What?
I remembered something, too. Just a glimpse. We must have confronted Dio about the bombs.
We did.
I'm not sure how, but we got him to tell us about them.
Exactly. I've planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3. But there's also one more. Bomb number 0.
I felt the cold shiver run down my spine. Suddenly I remembered it too. I'd heard Dio say those very words in the Floor B warehouse. No! No way!
Looks like you remember it too.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Shit! We've only got 4 minutes.
Well, hurry up! We need to get to the 0 bomb.
Right. I yanked the input device out of the bomb and turned to chase after... What are you just standing there for? Go! Show me where the bomb is!
What? Are you telling me you don't know where it is? You have got to be kidding me!
How the hell would I know where the bomb is? Oh shit, you don't know? She bit her lip and nodded. Damn it. What the hell are we supposed to do now? We can't deactivate the bomb if we don't know where the damn thing is.
Calm down. Just calm down. You need to think, Sigma. There has to be a clue somewhere. Pretend you're Dio. You need to hide the bomb. Where would you hide something important?
Hide something important?
Right.
Hide. If I was Dio, where would I hide? Ah!
Sigma, wait! Where are you going?
I'm going to ask Luna. Don't follow me. Go find the others.
Idiot! Do you really think I'd do that?
I could hear her following me, but there was no time to argue. Instead, I focused on my goal. There was still time. Come on, we're gonna save everyone's lives. It's gonna be great.
Here?
Yeah. Should be between these AB rooms. Good, I was right. How much time do we have left?
About a minute.
Shit!
Hurry!
I'm hurrying as fast as I can. The input device was plugged in. I was ready to go. Now I just had to enter the password. But what was the password? I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd already used up my third time charm. Still, I had to try. I shook my head and concentrated. Come on. Sigma powers, focus. Time travel. L. X. A. Q. N. S. G. D. Q. It stopped.
Yeah.
Fi and I crumpled to the ground. The adrenaline that had sustained us suddenly gone.
How did you know it was here? Did you see it in another history?
It's hard to explain. The short version is that Dio hid something here in another timeline. I guess maybe he put the bomb here too.
Pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Well, you did it. So, thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, I don't need any thanks. Just,
Just what?
about that swimsuit you promised.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
That was in a different timeline, Sigma.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
This is bad. The white doors have opened. We need to hurry. Everyone else is waiting for us in the Floor B warehouse.
What about the swimsuit?
What the hell are you going on about? Just go!
The man just wants his swimsuit. Before I could protest, she turned and ran towards the magenta door. I sighed and headed off after her. I ran into the warehouse to find everyone else already there. They'd done as Fi asked and brought the 3 unconscious members of our party back to the doors. Fi and I shared a quick glance, then headed over towards them. Got any aluminum foil? We could use some.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're safe.
So, did you disable the bombs?
Yeah. I could have done it, or could have done it in my sheep.
Don't you mean in your sleep? Oh my... Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good job, you guys.
We're good like that. No need to thank me. Although, I mean, if you insist, I, wouldn't mind a little swimsuit time.
What? Huh? You're disgusting.
Hey!
1 minute remains until chromatic doors close.
We need to hurry.
Everybody know who's in their group?
Yeah, I'm set.
All right, then let's move.
At Tenmyoji's command, we broke off into our teams. Kay carried Quark on his back and dragged Dio along the floor and through the white door on the left. Clover and Luna carried Alice through the door on the right. And Tenmyoji, Phi, and myself ran through the center door.
10 seconds remain until chromatic doors close. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
Shoo. Man, it's gonna be great that's gonna be the last time I see that, for sure. 100%. We're not gonna see it again. It's gonna be great. Q. Will we find the A door later? What the... What the hell? There's nothing here.
Well, there are doors. The one we came in. And that one, which I'm assuming is the exit.
Yep, figures. Won't budge.
The plaque on the door just said Q.
Q. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Really? Now someone's just being a smartass.
Huh?
Nothing. Maybe the Q is for question.
Hmm? Well, I guess it is a very questionable room.
If there was a deck of cards here, maybe the Q would be for Queen.
Yay, you made it, Steel. Yeah, that's a quality guess right there.
Right. Well, we need to get out of here. Let's find a way to get the door open.
We also need to find the star keys. I've got enough BP to open the door, but you guys need to play the AB game some more.
Yeah.
We still need a few more points.
If we can get those star keys, we should be able to play the AB game as many times as we need to. So...
It's just a matter of time until we get the points we need.
right.
Well, let's get started then.
Good.
Okay.
Good guy timeline. Let's go. Alright, seek a way out of the eye bleed. It'll be great. Okay. What are we supposed to do here? The room's empty. Wait. Do you hear something? Go on. Huh? Well, how much you want to bet it has something to do with that? Guess we should go, have a look. Cube, defender of the polyverse. I think this cube is just floating here. How the hell is it doing that? Who knows? Can't tell just by looking at it. Why don't you touch it and see if anything happens? Oh god, is this Minesweeper? So then... Wait. Okay, so it does seem to be Minesweeper-ish. So then... somewhere over here. I don't understand what's going on here. Have another look at it, huh? The cube, look at it again. There are winning and losing panels on the wall. The cube can help you find the winning panels. When the winning panels, and only the winning panels, are highlighted in cyan, the system will activate. Here's how you find the winning panels. When you select a panel on the cube, it will display a number. Each surrounding panel will also display a number. This number indicates the number of winning panels that border each panel. Okay. For example. Okay, so it's Minesweeper. The hint that appears on the cube is different for each side. Hypothetically, if a wall within the exit is the north wall, the wall to the right of that would make the east wall, which would make the entrance the south wall. The wall to the left of that would be the west wall. It would mean that a hint that appears on the west side could refer to the east wall. A hint that appears on the north side would actually refer to the south wall. A hint that appears on the east side would refer to the west wall. Adjacent walls don't provide hints for one another. Each hint is specific to that wall and means that even if there are winning panels on the border within an adjacent wall, those panels will not be reflected in the initial panel's numbers. Note 3. There are a total of 8 puzzles hidden in the walls. Examine the floor to view the message one more time. After that, it will be gone forever. Alright, so... So 3 of them are touching this, 1 is touching that, 2 are touching that. Okay. So I think it would be all 4 of those. Yes, so those 4. Oh, what the hell? Interesting. So that's how this one works. Looks like there's more of them. We should keep looking. Alright, so that's not helpful. Will that go away? Or are those squares not going to be involved? Can I go in here? Can I just squish myself in there? It'll be fine. Alright. Let's see what we got. Two, so the 2 bottom left in the corner there. And those 4 there. Fuck. But this... Oh, it was only 3. It's fine. Oh my god, these are repeats. Oh no, the dart game! Don't make me do it again. Can't make me. Alright, so I guess check this wall. 2, 3. This one's interesting. Okay. That one touches 2, but so these 3? Well, there's our box. Let's see if there's anything else on this wall. There is on the right side. There is 1. Here, third one up. No! Don't make me do it again! I can't handle it! It made no sense the first time! Alright, cube it up. Okay. 4. Oh, geez, okay, this one's pretty big. Is there anything else on here that I need to be worried? Oh my... Alright. Most of this wall, apparently. Okay. Let's probe around there. Alright, so it's gonna be... at least these 3. Because those are all 4s. And that would be 3 of them automatically. That one's only touching 1. That one's touching 2, which checks out. This one's touching 3. And that one's touching 2, so... I think those ones. I have been booped. That one touches 1. See that? So that one touches 3. If it's that one, and that one, that would check out both of those. 4. So it'll be that one, and something over here. So... Tetris block T. That one touches 1. Okay, hold on. Let's turn this off, because it said it had to be specifically just that. Let's focus on this shape. So, that would match those things. That would touch this 3, that one touches 3. These each touch 4, because they've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. That one only touches 1. So that can't be that. This one touches 2. What if that one touches one that's over... So those ones each touch 1. That checks out. Those 2 touch 3. Those all touch 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. That checks out. Those 2 would match with... That's just 3 and that one's just 2. Okay. That one touches 1, so... I think it has to be like these 2? Because of how that works. And that one would still touch 2. Let's construct this area. So there's nothing up here. So those all touch 1. So there has to be something here, because those all touch 1 but nothing else. And then this one touches 4. So I think all 3 of these now have to be lit up, right? Unfortunately, that wouldn't work then. So that one touches 3. It's touching there, there, there. This one's touching 3. It would be all 3 there. If there's a T block, it would be touching 4. Like that? The Tetris room is blowing my mind. Okay, let's try to gauge this shape. So that touching 3 would check out with a T shape here. That touches 3 because there's one over here. No, that's touching 4 now. Okay, let's start over. Alright, so 2 1s, which I think needs to be the bottom right corner there. But there's only 1 on this wall, so it's one of those 2. Let's find out what our next bits of information are. So only 1. It can't possibly be this one because that's a 0. It's touching none. So that would put those 2 there. Has to be something there because this one needs to light up for the 1. That one has to match for the 3 there. So I think that does it. 1 there. Odd that it's the number it's touching. You'd have assumed it was distance to a node, though that seems unlikely. Yeah. It's the number that it's touching. So if these 2 are touching 4 each, they have to be part of the same shape. And then, yeah. That has to be that way, right? So 1 is touching there, which means we already know this is the 1. Which means it can't be there, so the last part of it has to be here. This particular shape. So that should be correct by all technical terms. Just making sure that I'm on the correct layer. Okay. So then these 2 are touching 2 each, which is 1 there. If there's 0 touching up there, none of these can be blocks, which means that has to be. Which also corrects the 3 in the center here, because now it's touching 1, 2, 3. So this has to be empty, this one here, which is touching 2. Which means this part's still fucking me up. So the 5th one. That's touching 2. That is already touching 2, so that one's good. This is touching 3, which means I think that means we've got 3 potential spots. It's a 2 out of 3. So what's touching what here? If this one's touching 3, that means everything adjacent to it has to be, because it doesn't affect the other walls. It is literally impossible otherwise. So then these 2 are touching 4, which is accurate for this one, but not this one. Because it's only touching 2. Unless something like, would that work? This highly dense corner is throwing me off. Because that's got to touch 4. Unless I'm making a mistake here. No, because that's a 1, that one. No, that one could still be touching that one. That would still work, right? This is touching 3? No, it's not. Yeah, only one's on the right side. These 2 are touching 1 each. Yeah, it's not until this one that's two get touched, which means there's got to be a gap between here that all three of these are 1 and that one's a 2. Puzzles. Okay, let's work from the top. So all three of these are touching a 1, so this one has to be lit. Because those are all touching 1, and there's not like a floating here, right? Yeah. This one's touching 2, which would check out. So this one has to touch 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But then I think I'm right at the bottom left. Touching 3 has to touch 3 because it can't affect this wall. Yeah, because it said that the adjacent walls don't matter. Okay, so those 3 1s mean it's got to be the middle one, because it can't be one of the other ones without this being a 2 or... Okay. So things that are guaranteed correct. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How can that be a 4th one, though? This 4 is what's throwing me off, I think. Unless... because that 3 could be touching itself. Oh, which is touching this. There are 2, so there's got to be 1 on either side of that. That checks out. This touches 3. Without touching that, so it would be a gap there. That would work. That touches 3. This one's not touching 2. But that wouldn't work here. But that wouldn't work there. The 4th wall. It's collapsing under its own weight. So that would make that 3 and that 2 correct. Because that's touching those 2 then. This 2 is still causing me problems. Yes, I know, alarm that I keep forgetting to turn off. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn that off right now while I ponder math. And inevitably... oh. Just turn that one off. There we go. It's for later. Alright. Maybe let's work from the top down. So we know... based on the 3 pattern, those 2 have to be correct, right? No. We know this one has to be correct. That's it. From the right side, they're touching 1 each. Which means it can't be this one or that one. Could it be the bottom right corner? Theoretically. Oh, nuzzly butt. Yes, that is my lap. Okay, so I'm like 82% sure that one. It's got to touch 3 and 1. So this one's got to touch 4 without anything next to it. Okay. So that makes all of them at least 3 right now. That one remains, that one's also 3, while maintaining correct to that, because these can't be anything. So... I think that's correct. And then this one has to remain touching 3, while that one touches 3. So, I'm guessing that makes the most sense, because this is only touching 2, and then this one's touching 3, so if this was true, it would be touching 3, and that one would be touching 2. This is 3, which creates a problem with that too. Because that one's 3, it's touching 3 right now, so it can't have anything else, if that's the true bit. The one above it is a 2, it can't be that one. Because that's guaranteed, and this can only touch 2. So... I think that's correct, but... Because that's now touching 3. That one's only touching 2. Okay. No, this one's touching 3. That's 3. That's correct on 2. That's correct on 3. That's correct on 3. This should also be correct on 3. That's correct on 3. These are correct on 4. There is only one touching there, which means that's correct. So I think this 2 is the only thing that's causing me problems. What else could this possibly be touching? It's like that? But like... So that's 3, this would be 2. That's now 3 correctly. Those would each be 2? No, that's now 3. So it can't be that. But we know this one, because those are 3 1s, have to be that. Because even if it was these other 2 odd ones, this would then end up being a 2. And there's not, like, numbers up there. 0. Alright. I'm gonna write down all of the numbers on a tiny sticky note. So this doesn't go higher than... Yeah, top row is blank. Second row is blankish. Alright, so we got what essentially is a 4x3. So we have 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then we have 3, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, and 3, 3, 2. 3, 4, 3 again. Does that make them both 3, 4, 3? Yes. And a 1. Okay. So I shouldn't need to open the puzzle anymore. We're basically playing Minesweeper in reverse. Alright, let's erase all of this for now. So. Hey! Down you go, sir. So... let's take care of our ones. So that's what both those ones. That would be both of these ones while maintaining that 0, because that... basically, this 0 means none of these can ever be a thing. These being 0 mean none of these can be a thing. Or these. So none of those can be a thing, because all 4 of those are 0s. So because these 3 are 1, it has to be this one. Because that's the only one that does all 3, while maintaining true to this dead zone. Okay. Now let's focus on our 2s. We've got a 2 down here, which is pretty much unsolvable. We do have a 2 here, which means something else around this area needs to be lit. And it can't be any of these, so it's limited to these 2. One of these 2 is a 50-50. And that one's also a 2. So... these 2 being 2, one of these 2. So that's a 50-50 right now. This one touching 3 without that one means it's got to be these 2, because there is no other option. Because it itself can't be, it would violate this rule. So it's got to be these 2. At which point then this 3, this has to be a 4, so one of these is lit. This 3, it could be either one of them at the moment. This 3 is also inaccurate, and this one should have 2. So maybe that's the more likely one of those, at which point then 4, no. 4, this is now incorrect. This one can't be lit, though. So then how can this one be 4? If nothing beside it can be. I think it's gotta be that, then. Because there's no other possibility. At which point, then, that's 3, that's 3, that's 2. That is all correct. This entire section. Except for this 4. Because... it can't be. Unless it's like that? Does this work? That one's touching 2. That one's not touching 3. But if it's this, like I guessed earlier? Okay. That's guaranteed. That can't have anything in it. Which means these 3 are a guarantee. This one needs to touch 4, so one of these 2 needs to be lit. This one needs to touch 3, and this one needs to touch 3. So either of those being lit would satisfy that. This one needs to touch 2. This one needs to touch 3, which is where we have a problem. Unless that... but then this would touch 2, which is wrong. So this is touching 3, so that means that one has to be lit regardless. This one's touching 3, which means it's correct. This one on 3 is currently incorrect, and this one on 3 is incorrect. Unless that one is the one, then that's touching 3, and that's incorrect. This needs to touch 2. This one touching 2 is a big problem. Unless it's something like that. No, because then this one's not touching 3. No, it can't. Like, it literally can't. So... Okay. This one has to touch 3. These ones are all touching 1. I say, regardless of, even if I swap this one over to keep these ones accurate over there, it wouldn't work. So that one's got to be lit, like 100%. With that 3, which means this 3 creates problems. Because the moment it Okay. These shapes have to connect to each other somehow. Because they're implied to be one shape, like how these were, right? It's gotta be. I could start collecting other shit in this. This one's probably like the gold puzzle part. It's figuring this shit out. Let's make sure I didn't get any numbers wrong. 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2. And 0, 0, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3. Yes. That's it. Putting it like that. Hold on. So this one's touching 1. Let's try that one. This one's touching 4. So that would make all of those ones correct. Currently. This one's touching 2. This one's got to touch 3. Without interrupting that one touching 4 at the moment. Because that one's got to touch 4. This one's touching 2. Well, that solves that problem. I guess that makes sense? At least it's one thing gone. Alright, so we can ignore... These ones are definite. And try to solve for the missing ones. So, that one for sure has to be because these ones need to touch 1, that one needs to touch 3, and these ones are now guaranteed to be that. This one's touching 2 is correct. This one's touching 3 is correct. This one's touching 2 is correct. So this is somehow lit, despite not connecting to anything. But it's got to touch 4, and it's not currently touching 4. So this one's just incorrect. Unless that itself is touching 2. But then this one's touching 1, and that doesn't work. And this one doesn't work. Because all these are touching 1. It's gotta be... Can it be that one if... No, it has to be... I'm so confused. Alright, let's just try to get the other one out of the wall. So these ones are touching 1, so it's gotta be that. And then 4... That'd be 4, that'd be 4, that'd be 3, that'd be 3. That's 3, that's 3. So this checks out on this shape. This shape. I tells you. This one's got to touch 2. What if it's this? No. Okay. That one for sure. Granted, this one was for sure, and it didn't get me fucking anywhere. So that can't be because of that. See, that's the... No, that one could legally trigger that one. And this one touching 3 like that? That could technically work. Okay. Maybe I should focus on some other stuff in here. There's a red memory card behind the glass. Alright. There's a binder behind the glass. Can I just do the thing? Not every day you see a... I'm not even sure what to call this. A cabinet? Not every day you see a cabinet like this. Looks like each of those cubicles has something in it. The one on the left looks like a binder. The one on the right looks like you got a memory card. Can't get them, though. They've got the glass doors. Punch through them! Alright, here goes. Don't. This is reinforced glass. The only thing you're going to do is break your hand. Change the hexes to the correct ones by selecting hexagons and triangles. Remember, you only have 5 moves to complete the puzzle. I feel like I've done this puzzle somewhere before. Yeah, well, doesn't matter, I guess. So we gotta make it all red. Dude. Huh, this is tough. It is the room of super hard puzzles. Hey! Alright, there we go. I needed some dopamine to fix things up. Did I solve it? Yeah, must be the answer. Look. Alright. The glass doors. They're open. Well done. That was some good work, Sigma. Alright, let's grab that. It's a binder. Let's have a look. There's only a single piece of paper in here. It says Q Chambers Special AB Game. Found instructions for the Q Chambers AB game. I can... Oh. Oh. That sounds like it's gonna be horrible. Oh, I don't want to do the darts. Alright. Let's... continue. There's gonna be a blue memory card as well. As a third thing. Which is gonna be the thing I can't get out of this fucking wall. Something just slid out of the wall. Yeah, okay, just let me... Are those missiles? They're darts! Look over here. I think that's the green memory card. Can't get it out though, that glass is covering it. I think we can get some darts though. Okay, I'll go grab a couple. Darts. Can I grab more darts? Looks like a display case. The number of darts on the left. One green memory card. Discover my memory card. I can't get at it. Looks like a scoreboard for the dartboard. Dude. Is there any hint to what I need to be doing with that? It's probably... 3 people will definitely choose ally, 3 people choose betray, 1 is a mysterious mirror man, he will always choose whatever his opponent does. First answer, strive for 9 with 6 cooperators. Second answer, we must be the only ones to surpass 9. So I guess that's our win con. We are noticeably missing multiple files for this room. So I don't know what scores I need to bother with that. What the heck is this huge thing? There's a screen down there. Looks like there's the only part you can actually interact with. But it's dark, there's nothing on it. There's some card slots underneath the screen. The ones, the polling machines in the AB rooms. So that means we need to put some memory cards in there, right? Alright, let's put the red one in. We have it. This red card, huh? Let's see if anything happens if I put the red card in. Nope, nothing. Still got 2 empty slots. I reckon you need 2 more cards. Oh, yay. Alright. Well, the only thing we have is darts. But we did that puzzle. Is there any sort of hint towards the darts? That's a dartboard. I remember seeing this before. Come on, who hasn't seen a dartboard before? No, that's not what I mean. I feel like I've seen it somewhere in the building before. It's just this board is different from the normal dartboard, you know? Let's try it out. What do you mean try it out? Isn't that obvious? There's only 2 ways to use a dartboard. Either use it to hold pizza or you throw darts at it. Got some darts, don't you, Sigma? Maybe we could try throwing them. Get a score of 100 with 3 darts. However, the first dart must land in a green, the second in a blue, and the third in a red. To throw a dart in a particular area, grab it by pressing A and release it where you'd like it to land. Huh? That's weird. Could have sworn I've seen these darts somewhere before. Whatever. Time for some darts. So we need a score of 100, eh? With green, red, and then or blue and then red. Alright, well, let's go with 42. Blue one. Wow, there's only 3 options of 8. Or if I well, let's try triple 8, I guess. 66 and 40. No, I need 24, which would be 7 times. No, it's more than that. Wow, I can't math apparently. So you need a score of 100. First one's got to be green. So an expensive-ish. We didn't get anywhere close to the number, so. What's our biggest blue option? That is 20-something, 20-something, 13, 18, 28. This would be our biggest one. And then a red that scores 33. Ha! Piece of cake. See that? My dart skills are undeniable. Yeah, I saw it quite clearly. It was very nice. You didn't think you could stand a whole 2 meters and 37 centimeters away from the dartboard, though? I'm a fair man. My high school voted me most likely to be a judge, you know. Okay, okay. That's great and all, but look. See the display case? It's open. Great. Now we just get the green memory card. Couldn't have just... We're gonna have to pull all the stops on this job. Sound like you in a heist movie. Should I have worn a catsuit? I think I'll just screw up a little. Besides, everyone in the heist movie always wears a sweet suit. Alright. Memory card number 2 achieved. Green card, huh? Let's see if anything happens when I put it in the green slot. Alright, we need a blue one. We can't even see a blue one yet. Okay, what if we go here? I think I've seen something like this before. Oh, you mean one of those exercise machines where you twist your hips around? No, I don't think so. This looked like a fitness machine to me. Kind of ruins it when you take it so seriously. This is, damn it, I can't remember. Strange disc-shaped device. I can't remember where I've seen it before. A screen, huh? There's nothing on it. Doesn't do anything when I touch it. How do we turn it on? Hell if I know. Don't see a button or a card or anything. Not a lot we can do, we just can't turn it on. Might as well just leave it for now. Alright. Alright, we need to figure out the last thing in this wall. Which I've written down all of the numbers for, so... Procrastination over. It's got to be a continuous shape of some kind, so that works. That technically works. What's this one? This is a 3. Because those are 1s. They can only touch 1, which means that can't. Okay. This is touching 3, which means there needs to be another one this is touching. It could be itself. No, it can't. This one's touching 2, so it can't be itself. This one's touching 1, so it's got to be that one. And then... See, this one touching 2 is kind of the biggest thing I'm having trouble with. Because that can't... I have rage. Is it another square here or something? Okay. The fact that something... Those are all the 1s. So we satisfy all of those 1s with these 2. And the 0 there is satisfied as well. This needs to touch 4. So that's gotta be. So that would satisfy the 2 here. That would satisfy the 3. This one being a 4 is causing me issues. Okay. So this is a 3. This is a 2, so this one's correct. It can't be anything else. This one's a 3, which means this one's wrong right now. I'm just gonna highlight the ones that are wrong. This one's wrong right now. 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 And this one's wrong right now. And this one's wrong right now. So this entire section here is what I have to work with. Hello, you. Yeah, you being a shithead? Okay. And this is wrong right now. But that has to be. Because that's the only way that this can be correct with the fact that that's a 0, so none of these can be. That's a 1, which means, yeah. This being a 2 is the big problem. Which means, like, it can't be that one because of this. It could be this one. But then... that one's incorrect. See, that makes everything in this area correct. Except for this one. This one's a problem. Because if that's this one, then this can't be anything. So it's gotta be there. This one's gotta touch 3. And that makes that touch 2, that touch 4, that touch 2, that touch 3, that touch 3, that touches more than 2. So it can't be that one. But then this can't touch 3. Like, it's just... I'm making a mistake somewhere. And I don't know where I'm making that mistake, and that's the problem here. And this is locking me out of the blue memory card at this point. And without the blue memory card, I'm not going anywhere. Make sure there's nothing else on these walls that I'm maybe forgetting. No. Yeah, no. Yeah. And this one was just the corner here. It was the first one we saw. Huge. So it's just this wall causing me problems. But hold on, this couldn't have been correct, because if the bottom corner is 3, does it not count itself and it's just adjacent ones? But then, no, because that one was a 1. Surrounded by 1s, which means the one in the middle counted touching itself. Per how the rules of this work. Does it not count diagonals? And I've been assuming that up until now. Which would mean something like those, because these need to be 1s and that needs to be a 1. So it's itself and cardinal directions. That's got a 1 that way. And 0s elsewise, so that one's got to be... This one's a 2 with nothing else, so it's got to be something like... Yeah, this one's a 4, which means it's got to be everything? That wouldn't work. Unless, hold on. Yep, there we go. So, it is just cardinal directions. There we go. Alright. I'm just stupid. Looks like 4 purple books. Let's go through each of them. What the? There's nothing written here. I mean, all the pages are blank. Are the other books the same? Let's have a look. Yeah, there's nothing here. This one's blank too. Huh? Something wrong? Is something in that one? No, the pages are all blank. It's just what? Well, there are some pictures in between the pages back here. 3 of them, it looks like. Found a picture of a blue die, a green die, and a red die. I can review them using the archive. Oh, hooray! This is gonna be AIDS! Well, at least we found what the missing thing was. Thankfully, I can access the archive during, but... Alright. Roll the dice to move them where they need to go. Direction on each side of the die must match a specific pattern. Choose which die you'd like to move by selecting it. You can roll it vertically or horizontally using the direction buttons. Alright, let's give it a shot. Please tell me this is from the correct angle. So, a 1, not 5 and 1. There we go. Unless the full thing matters. There's a 2 on this other opposing side. Okay. Dang it. I can't figure it out. Okay. Let's just try to get the top number and see what happens. Dude. Dude. There we go, we flipped it. It's 5 and... Dude. Alright, there's a 5 where ideally that should probably go. Yep. Green dice. So a 6 right next to it, and a 2 above. Dude. Just move these red ones out of the way. Dude. Two above. Because if I recall the dice puzzle last time I did it was absolutely fucking terrible in terms of things. Alright, so a 3 and a 4 directly below those. Yep, the dice puzzles fucking suck in this game, and I don't remember what caused them to not suck. Who fucking raw? Like... Damn it, can't figure this out. Okay. Roll the 6-sided and move them where they need to go. The direction of each side of a die must match a specific pattern. Choose which die you would like to move by selecting it. You can roll it vertically or horizontally using the direction buttons. Okay. So all sides need to match. When one is up, where does everything else point? Dang it. Is that the same both dice? No, there's a potential we could do this. No, it needs to be one more down. Shite. Which I think means that these are pattern locked. There's not going to be a possible combination that gets the 2 on the correct side. No, there it is. Alright. And this needs a 4 pointing towards me and a 5 up. Okay. 4 pointing towards me, 5 up. So that's where I needed the side I needed on. We're close. We're close. How do we rotate it the other way? No. Actually, hold on. There we go. Okay. I'm starting to understand the dice puzzle. So that should be that. 6 with 2 towards me. Wait, is that just it? No, it's got to be directly next to it. So we gotta move this down 1. Okay. Before I put a million years of effort into this. We're close. We need one more rotation. Okay, so it's gonna pivot on those sides. Close again. Close again. No. Okay. So just remember to pull them in We need 6 and 2 right here. Math on cubes. No. Okay, we're once again one side off. Can we do it with the other one easier? Could. Just need to flip the other way. There we go. Okay. So next, 2 up, 3 facing us. Wait, is that the correct position? It just is the correct position. Alright, that works out. And then 4 with 2 and 3 with 2. Both 2s are facing the same direction. And they're in the middle. Dude, is that the correct 2? Top down. That is the correct 2. Alright, then 3 coming down. That is how we need this dice. Okay. So that's what we need to the left, which is doable. Just need to flip it. Ha ha! All right, we dealt with the worst puzzles. Ha! Got it. I had a feeling you could do it. Good job. Have a look at this. Hey, it opened. All right. Hooray! Memory card in blue. All right, time to deal with a logic puzzle. Blue card, huh? Well, let's see if anything happens. I put it in the blue slot. Would you look at that? Looks like you turned it on. Us, A and B pairs are all consisting of 2 people. C and D and E are solos consisting of a single person. First, move pairs A and B to the blank areas left under the pair. Next, move the solos C, D, and E. Solo, press the A button to grab, move the other icons. A pair and solo aligned vertically versus between them will face off against one another. You still move icons even after you've placed them. Once an opponent has been selected, the game will begin. Choose either vote the us pair, either ally or betrayed. The result of your match will be displayed. Result of the other teams. If the correct number of people reach the target BP after playing 3 rounds, the game will be completed. Alright. Oh, time to read this again. So 3 people will definitely choose ally, 3 will choose betray, 1 is a mystery mirror. He will always do whatever his opponent does. First answer, strive for 9 with 6 cooperators. The second answer, we must be the only one to surpass 9. Alright, I gotta pee before I commit to yet another long puzzle. So I'll be back in a sec. Oh man. I need some electrical tape to fix this wire. Alright. Also, it appears my thingy crashed, so perfect time for me to leave and be back in a second. Alright, let's get to this nonsense. So 3 choose ally, 3 betray, but there are 7 because we're a pair. So... So let's just do this and see what happens. We don't get to see points until afterwards. And then we have to pick our own. Okay. So... we're gonna have to try to process of elimination of this to see what everyone's doing. So I'm gonna grab 3 things, because we can always check what the solos do through our own guess. So we'll make this C, we'll make this D, make this E, and we'll go with A and B. That's ally. So C allied. Let's go with D, E, C, A, B. D also allied. C has now twice done the exact same thing as the other one, though. And let's do E. So E betrayed. Okay. So will E betray us again? Okay. So E is definitely a betray. It didn't copy us. D, if we betray them, we need to see if they copy us. D is 100% an ally. So C, if we betray C, will they copy us? Betray. Alright, C is the copycat. So D is allies betray. Alright, let's check what since we know C is the copycat, we can use that to check the other two. So let's check A. Just ally. A will betray us, so A is a betray. And we'll copy B and see what happens. So B is an ally. Alright. So knowing that... So we've got to get 6 people out and get only ourselves out. So let's get only ourselves out first, shall we? So let's, in 3 rounds, we'll copy our own ally. And then we know A betrays. And B allies. So we'll go D with an ally and a betray. Well, no, we'll try to neutralize their points. And then we ally to get the most points. Alright, and then we will take poor advantage of little D. We're going to betray D so much. We'll copy the betray one and do 2 allies again. That's fine. So we need to put E in one where they're going to be betrayed so that they don't get any points. And nobody else should be able to. So as long as I take the ally and they both ally because we don't care. Actually, which one of them is the traitor? Oh, they're both allies. So it's gonna... We can ally, just for the fun. Alright. Nice one! Looks like that was the answer. Alright. Got star, sun, sun. I knew it. That looks like the password to the safe. We did it. This should get us into that safe. It's gonna be the secret files. Same as if you've seen the other rooms. Which means we probably opened it the same way too. Just need to plug in the password, right? Yeah, why don't you give it a shot? Good job. You opened it. Well done. I found all the secrets in VLR. Look at that. Every secret. Alright. Now we need to get all 6 out, knowing how this works. So, now's the tricky part. So now, do we have to get 6 out, or just... Okay, so we know C's gonna copy us. And if we do a double ally, so B and D, and then the betrayers don't lose anybody points for the first round. That should work. And then I really want to get 3 points. So if we take B, who's... Okay. So they're gonna swap those. So betray, and why is it the opposite? Ally, betray. So we're gonna ally from the left. So if you ally, and you ally, is 6 people gonna count the fact that it's pairs? And then Yeah, okay, it was just get 6 people out. The pairs are fine. The pairs count as 2 people. I also forgot to turn my avatar back on. So let's take a moment for that as we revel in puzzles solved. It's so good. It feels so nice to have puzzles solved and not horrible. Oh, I didn't mean to hit our splits. Resume splits is 5. No, shite. Alright, hold on. We were at 36 hours-ish. Actually, we have our exact time. Doot. There we go. And costume 2. There we go. Everything's better. We fixed it. Way to go. Good work. Hey, look, the screen changed color. So would this be... Could this be? Should this be? Moon, sun, sun. Oh, there's different symbols now in different places. Dude. We did it. Yes! It's open! 2 things of Excalibur. Okay then. Let's see what's in here. First off... 2 star cards. We can use these to play the Geebs as many times as we want. Hold on. Those keys are important, but... Look at this. Excalibur? The Radical 6 cure? Oh. Oh, thank goodness. I don't know what to say. Quark is gonna be okay. Is he crying? Alright, let's get out of here. Need to get this stuff to Quark and Alice. Yeah, you're right. This key should do the trick. Let's get moving. Alright. So I guess the little hovery panel didn't do anything? Can we go back? Strange exhibition. Didn't remember it. Can't remember where I saw it before. Alright, well. Let's go. No, don't press the fucking door. Door's locked. It says lock. You guys ready? All set here. Go for it. Alright. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop that! Jeez, one more time. 3, 2, 1. I escaped from 16 rooms, and I escaped everything on hard difficulty. Jazz hands!
Huh. It opened.
We should get back to the Floor A warehouse then.
Hey, wait. Did you guys hear something?
What?
You didn't hear it? It came from over there. Sounds like something turning on. See? I told you. This screen wasn't on before.
You're right. Guess it was set to turn on when we opened the door.
It looks like an authentication screen. I think we need to put in an ID and a password.
Yeah, but what?
That was when I noticed the illustration. The lion is eating the sun. Lion's eating the sun. Lion eating the... Memento mori. Remember death. The 9th lion ate the sun. Oh, of course. This was the real 9th lion. But if that was the case... Memento mori. Remember death. Memento mori. Remember death. Memento mori. Remember. I swear to God. Alright. Hold on. We have... Is Luna's ID gonna be the one? Doot. Let's get Luna. G T F D M L 0 1 6 and the password of M milk E no? Jumpy doll? Uh-oh. That have... Oh, fuck. Was there information on the front of her thing? Memento Mori? You're gonna laugh my ass off? Mem... and... so... no, it's not long enough. Damn, I couldn't figure it out. What was the ID I needed? What was the password? Did I know them? Had I seen them before in another history? Perhaps it had something to do with that card. If I had found an ID card on the old woman's body, and if I recall correctly, it said something about a password. What the password was, though, I couldn't recall. If the card was the key, though, I'd need to put in the woman's name for the ID. Remember, Sigma, you need to remember. What was the old woman's name? What was written on the back of the card? Fuck. Okay, back of the card was Jumpy Doll. I know that much. But her name is eluding me, which is bad. We must jump to another timeline. And remember what the hell one it was that we saw her ID. Wasn't that one. Bomb deactivation number. If you find the 2 in the key to gate 1, you planted the bomb. Stop Phi, deactivate bombs. "5 minutes of life. Old woman's ID card. I need to see the front of it again. Kurashiki. Dude. Kurashiki. Jumpy doll. There we go.
Sigma, look!
Hey! You're...
Akane. Her name is Akane Kurashiki. I've been looking for her for a very long time.
He walked towards her. Slowly, carefully, almost as if he was afraid of scaring her away. He reached out.
She's a hologram.
Wait, is Tenmyuji Jumpy from the first game? Tenmyuji squeezed his eyes shut.
Akane.
He closed his hand around empty air and let it fall into his side. There was a moment of sad silence, and then she began to speak.
I see you finally arrived.
Yes, I have. And also, my thing crashed. I love it. It's my favorite. It's not like I pay premium for services that I kind of hope work. That said, that should 100% be the last fucking thing. Alright. Oop. Not that. There we go. Alright, we're back.
I've been waiting for you. Well, I suppose that's slightly inaccurate. What you see now is a holographic message I recorded before you came here. Unfortunately, this means I will not be able to answer your questions, at least not directly.
Then who was the Inquisitor?
I hope you will understand. Now, where to begin? You probably have a great many questions.
I do, a lot of them.
What day is it? Where are we? Who is Zero? And what does he have to do with Akane Kurashiki?
Hey, Kaba.
But I imagine there is one question that rises above all the others. Why were we brought here? The answer to that is simple. Everything that has happened here is part of our plan. All of this was required for the success of the AB project. I
Alright.
assume you've heard the name by now, at least.
A few times.
In any event, you were all needed in order to execute our plan. The Nonary game was necessary for the same reason.
Okay.
The question now, I imagine, is just what is this AB project? The answer to that is also simple. Allow me to explain. We created the AB project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past.
Okay.
Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
Okay, but why do I have robot arms? Explain that. What do you mean, the past? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized no one could answer the question. Not Phi, not Tenmuji, and certainly not a pre-recorded hologram.
Have you figured out what this room is? I assume you saw the Q on the door. It stands for quantum. That makes this the quantum room.
Hooray! Quantum physics again! Took me a moment to realize she changed subjects without even pausing. There was nothing we could do, of course, but I still felt a twinge of frustration.
Take a look at the rear of the room. Do you see that large enclosure? That houses our quantum computer. The systems that control this entire facility run on that machine. That includes the construct you refer to as Zero Junior, as well as the golems. All of them do their thinking in that box. Isn't that strange, though?
No?
It seems contrary to how we perceive the world.
No, it's fine. Wireless exists.
The body, the thing that you see and interact with, is somewhere else. But the mind and all its thoughts are in this box. Perhaps it isn't so strange, though. Perhaps humans are the same, with our minds and thoughts existing separate from our bodies.
Ah, the pseudoscience begins! Sometimes I don't know if I like Twitch features or not. I feel that.
Our core is in our head, of course. We all have individual brains, think individual thoughts, and act according to individual wills. That makes communication difficult, though. So, we're forced to rely on inefficient mediums, like language, photographs, non-verbal cues, etc., to transmit information. Each one of us is an individual, and we have no direct connection to anyone else.
Carry on.
But is that really true?
Yes, it's true.
In the dimensions we are most familiar with, yes, it is. If we look at things from another higher dimension, however, we may all be connected after all.
Man, I kinda got loaded between game 1 and 2.
Like the branches of a tree or a rhizome. Imagine a horizontal cross-section of the root system of a large tree.
Okay.
All you can see are the spots where the roots intersect the plane of your cross-section. root system in 3 dimensions instead of only 2. You see the truth. All the roots join together at the trunk. In 2 dimensions, they appear to be separate.
Just like the tree for all the routes of the game. Oh, shit!
But if you look at the roots from a 3rd higher dimension, you see things that might appear to be separate from one another in 3 dimensions could be connected to one another if you look at them in 4 dimensions.
Self-awareness, what up?
Doesn't that at least seem like it could be a possibility?
It seems pretty far-fetched, Miss Akane, but you know what? We'll deal with it.
I believe that is how human consciousness actually works.
I mean, you've saved your life with it once, so you know what? We'll take it.
Well, I'm not the only one, I suppose. Zero and I share that belief.
Morphogenetic field theory.
Yes, Tenmyuji. Tenmyuji mumbled something that sounded like nonsense. I opened my mouth to ask him what it meant, but Akane was already talking again.
Now, when I talk about a 4th dimension, I'm referring to the 4th dimension used in Minkowski space-time.
Science.
Single dimension, where all that exists is a point. Connect points to one another, and you have a line. In 1 dimension, the only surface you can create is that, a line. But move to 2 dimensions and create more lines, and you can create shapes. These are 2-dimensional surfaces. Move up to 3 dimensions, and you can connect these shapes to one another. And
Yes.
form 3-dimensional
Yes, we can.
objects. Now you have a 3-dimensional surface.
I hope you're all
which
taking.
encompasses a volume of space.
I hope you're all taking notes. This is all gonna be on the test later.
Connect 3-dimensional objects to one another, and you formed a 4-dimensional object, which encompasses a volume of both space and time. It is on that 4th dimensional axis that our minds are connected.
Well,
If that
gotta
was
go.
true, then what would prevent anyone from sending their consciousness backward or forward in time? That theory is the foundation of the AB project. The A represents after, and the B represents before.
The After Before project? This sounds stupid.
It probably sounds silly to you.
Yes.
A ridiculous story made up by a bad old woman.
I mean, I've traveled. Sigma's consciousness has traveled between time. It has to do with me, the 4th dimensional being, Isabel Materia Zephyr. It's a great time.
But look at what's happened to you. You've seen many different worlds and timelines.
I have.
Haven't you, Sigma?
Okay, yeah, yes.
And what about you, Phi? I know you have too. Am I wrong?
We did disarm a bunch of bombs. It was great.
Tenmyoji should know what I'm talking about as well. I believe you experienced something very similar nearly half a century ago.
50 years? There's a 50-year time difference between...
You sent your consciousness to the past to help save a little girl's life. It was a long time ago, but perhaps you still remember.
Yeah, of course I do. How could I forget? That little girl was you, Akane.
Suddenly, it felt like Phi and I were outsiders, trespassing on something we had no right to see. Tenmyuji's face was taut with emotion, as he looked into Akane's eyes. Alright, Junpei, you'll be fine. It seemed almost like she was looking back at him.
Now, unfortunately, my time is up. The final stage of the project will begin very soon. I need to go prepare. The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story.
God damn it, there's gonna be more.
So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
But you were dead!
One last thing. The cat in the box. Is it alive? Or is it dead?
Actually, that's true. You're dead in some time. Is this one where we found you dead?
Sigma, Phi, you will decide its fate. Goodbye.
God damn it.
Akane, wait!
Oh, Tenmyoji, I can almost see you. You don't need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. I will see you again one day. I promise. But I'm going to have to ask you to wait just a little longer.
Man, you've been making him wait half a century. Akane, stop teasing this man.
Wait. Akane!
And then she was gone. Tenmyuji collapsed to his knees, his back hunched and shaking. I saw tears land on the white knuckled fists he pressed against his thighs. I kept quiet. What was there to say? Phi and I looked at one another, and nodded silently. With a shaking hand, Tenmyuji pulled a photograph out of his pocket. It was a picture of a girl. After all that we'd been through, her smile was enough to break your heart. We made our way to the warehouse on floor A and met up with the others. Took only a few minutes to decide to head to the infirmary. Yay! As soon as we arrived, we began to treat Alice and Quark for Radical 6. I gave Luna the Accelavir that I'd found in their queue room. She quickly prepared it, and... ejected Alice and Quark.
Thank goodness. It will take some time for them to recover completely, but they should be fine. Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
Don't sweat it.
No need to thank us.
Tenmyuji said nothing, just walked over to Quark's unconscious body. He took the small boy's hand in his own and held it tight. I could see tears at the corners of his eyes as he turned away from us. Suddenly, I remembered. Dio, where'd he gone? Didn't take me long to find him. He was sprawled, unconscious on the floor beneath the sink. Take that, left! Handcuffs?
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters. Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there. Of course, the bomb was indeed turned off. Thank you again for dealing with them.
You're welcome, Kay.
You are, quite literally, lifesavers. You
We
have
try.
my eternal gratitude.
You're welcome, Kay. Now, are you still me under that mask? I gotta know. I coughed awkwardly and looked pointedly around the room. I glanced over at Phi to see she was doing the same thing. After that, we headed back to the Floor A warehouse to play the AB game. Specifically, me, Phi, Kay, and Luna. Clover and Tenmyuji decided to remain in the infirmary, just in case something happened with Alice, Quark, or Dio. Luna would represent Clover's team. With Quark and Dio sleeping, Kay would represent their team by default, which left me, Phi, and Tenmyuji. You should vote.
No, I'll let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
What? That doesn't matter now.
Excuse me. I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to vote in the next round fight.
Why?
You already have 9 BP. There's no reason for you to choose Betray now. You see?
Hey, you're acting like I might actually try and betray her.
Not necessarily.
What does it matter what he's suggesting? We're almost there. We just have to play the AB game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Oh, do we have to math? Woo! Woo! Look at that, 15 whole points. It's gonna be great.
Okay, I'll vote. You sure you're alright with this, Sigma?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I trust you. I handed her the star key.
Shall we open the doors?
An Ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain
Yay.
until Ambidex game polling closes.
36 fucking hours.
Oh, right.
We're finally
It's the
here.
Deadline.
Oh. Well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AB room for 45 minutes.
Which would suck. I can do a lot in 45 minutes.
Let's go back to the infirmary then.
I agree. Please, lead the way.
Luna and Kay set off towards the yellow door. I was about to follow when...
Hold on. I just remembered something.
What?
The AB room on the left, in one of the other histories, she...
Oh, yeah. You're right. Akane's body was in there. Oh my god, there's Schrodinger's catting it. She didn't die in this reality? What does this mean? Why didn't we find her body this time?
Maybe because she wasn't murdered.
But how? When did history change?
Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat in the box. Is it alive? Or is it dead? Sigma, Phi. You will decide its fate.
The Schrodinger's cat thing?
Exactly.
I wonder what she meant about us deciding its fate.
Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet.
Huh?
The history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now.
What? No, that's impossible. We've already opened the box. We opened the door to this AB room and there was no body.
No, we haven't opened the box. We haven't found a body, but we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her. The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story.
No! I wanna know now!
So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
Ah! Where was Akane now? Where was she waiting for us? Or what if she wasn't anywhere now? What if she was waiting for us in another timeline? What if she was waiting for us in the past? Was that even possible? If she was, what would that mean? What do you mean, to be continued? A new destination's been added to the flowchart! The AB room in the past! Alright. Ow. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ugh, damn it. Feels like my head's gonna explode. Wait. Where the hell am I? Let the mindfucks begin. Because start of the routes, you know? Looks like an elevator, but...
No, this is one of the AB rooms.
God! Who the hell are you? And what the hell's an AB room?
Damn. I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Memory? Memory? I remember! You're Phi! She grinned. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red pair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does this mean this is the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AB room?
No, not quite. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
Well, how do you know?
Push the buttons on the side of your bracelet.
2 hours? 15? No, not 2 more hours!
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time. I think we're about an hour early.
Wait a minute. If you're right...
Yeah. Akane might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her. I think.
Then...
Right. We're here for one reason.
To stop her from getting killed?
Exactly.
Let's move. We need to get out of here. Fast.
Don't need to tell me twice. Let's go.
It's the same puzzle. I get to just open the door, right? I don't need to puzzle. I just get to just make sure there's no more secrets or anything. 2 Acceleviers. Pantry safe. Archive safe. Treatment center safe. The queue safe. Okay, there's no more safe codes, which means if I go to the elevator one, it's star star moon to get out of here. Need to remember the password to the safe. We figured it out last time. I put the moon in the wrong spot. That's the first time I've fucked up a safe code. There, it opened. Good work. Hurry up and grab the cracker. Cracker? Damn, I meant key. How the hell? Just shut up and do it! Dude. Don't remember where to use the key in this one. It's here. Alright, just put the key in here. For God's sake, just do it already! No need to yell. Alright. Good. Looks like that worked. Ready, Phi? What do you think? I know. I don't need to ask every time, right? But then why the hell are you asking? Hurry up and... Right. I'm going. 10, 9, 8, 1, done. Hey, you pushed the button. Bite me, you were taking too long. We're on a schedule here. Ugh. Yay! Free dopamine hits for everyone. Phi and I climbed up through the hatch and out onto the top of the AB room. Took us only a moment to spot them. Akane! Behind her was Dio. He was moving quickly and quietly, a knife glinting in his right hand. Shit! There was no time to yell at her. I scrambled down from the top of the AB room. Phi wasn't following me. Then I looked back, she was still standing on the roof. Phi! What the hell are you doing? Get down here and... Before I could finish, she moved! Kono Dioda! She ran across the roof, launched herself into the air. Woo! Boot to the head! Fucking terrorist, get out of here. What the?
He's fine. Just unconscious.
I bent down and held my fingers in front of his mouth. He was still
I
breathing.
don't think he saw me. He probably has no idea what happened to him.
Guy went down like a sack of potatoes.
He had it coming.
Yeah, with all the shit he did in the future, yeah. I heard footsteps come to the right in front of us. I looked up.
So you came.
I did.
I've been waiting for you. You're here to hear the rest, right?
Yes. Wait. Just wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If we hadn't showed up just now, you'd...
have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
What?
Hold on. How do you know about being stabbed by Dio? Are you an Esper too?
Yes, indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was going to stab you, why were you going to let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested.
That's arguably true, but still.
I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases.
Time travel.
Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity.
Wait, is Radical 6 a disease trying to give everyone time-traveling mind powers?
Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, we need to slow down the brain before the increase happens. It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band,
Okay.
and then let go. The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot.
Okay.
Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited.
I don't know,
When
man.
the bullet of your consciousness is fired from the slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like.
Well, Akane, you never met Maddie, have you?
Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
I knew it! Well, what?
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes. Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Feel like I got shot in the head with a slingshot. Yeah, there's another game in this series. There's more of this.
Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected. Well, apart from Luna, of course. Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to
You're glad
slow
you're not
your minds
invested.
in order to store up your potential energy. Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed.
So imagine Danganronpa is more sane regarding mindfucks. Oh, and we're doing that one after all of this.
The result is what you are now experiencing.
We're gonna feel extra sane with all of the despair in fucking 2 months, 3 months. Hold on. This would be about 15, 17, good god, 17 streams divided into weeks. Like half a year from now, we'll enjoy despair.
Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time. Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times. With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually,
Alright.
you would be able to retain everything. That is why we made you play the A-B game. That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
Alright. So you made me time travel. For the purpose of saving your life that didn't need to be in danger in the first... I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you've just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that Fi and I could jump through 4-dimensional space with our memories intact. Right?
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died. Murder, antimatter explosion, suicide. I've died, so has Fi, so have you. I cried over Luna dying. So why would you do all this? What does it matter that Fi and I jump through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You are all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. What I'm asking you is why? What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
Ah. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
I'm guessing stopping Radical 6 from existing.
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Oh, come on! Bullshit! That's not good enough! Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Akane knelt down next to Dio and picked his knife up off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me.
Don't change the subject!
But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time!
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline.
What?
This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Logomorph.
Yes.
Logomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Logomorph.
Hello, Rabbit.
Logomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Benui.
Now, everything is in place.
So that's why she didn't die, because we already saved her in the past, and...
I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Boo! You suck! Just let me out! Why do you need to do all that?
To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again? Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
You are exactly correct.
It is too many times.
Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. It was a small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma?
Why are you... What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
It's Latin.
It has love. No, wait.
It
Hold on.
means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with it?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
What?
Go.
No!
Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.
Wait! I still... Ah! Ah!
Oh, looks like you're awake.
Is this the infirmary?
Why are we here?
Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but
We waited and waited, and the two of you never returned.
so we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Wait, we pass out every time we jump?
Kay and I hurried back here with you.
I looked over at Fi and met her eyes. Do you remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long time ago?
Yeah. You got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember all right.
He's got a bruise on the back of his head.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, hey, Quark. Quark!
Hi, top liver.
Hey, Alice. Alice!
Among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. All in a day's work. Although, I wouldn't mind a little swimsuit action.
Really grabbing at straws here, aren't you?
Just give me the swimsuit, Fi! Hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. That was an offer for Alice.
Not really my point.
Oh, whatever. Forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we gotta do is open the number 9 door.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Look at your bracelet.
Huh? It says 10. I have 10 BP.
I've got 15 BP? That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how?
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours. We've played the AB game 3 times.
3 times?
Yes. Of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
Yay! We got the points.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
Yay! Everybody wins. I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all of our BP past 9? Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Without a death to start things off, maybe we'd been less suspicious of one another? Or could the bombs have had something to do with it? We'd all joined forces against Dio, and Faya and I had been able to disarm all of them. All of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond? Which, I had to admit, would be somewhat ironic. After all, Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. This must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Wait. What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Wow! Alice was the only holdout. She'd complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors, but after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio then, she reluctantly complied.
All right, let's get going.
Oh god, there's giant tomatoes all over my farm! I left it unattended for too long. Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled down. We have been watching cut. I took an hour and a half to do puzzles, and there's been another hour of just watching shit. The movie. Oh, I don't want to put all this on a playlist on YouTube. It's gonna take forever. I should, though.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain
Visual novel, what don't I
9
understand
seconds.
about that? I just want more puzzles, man. Alright, everybody, let's move. I want to help write a VN one day. I think it'd be fun. Took as long as the real thing, damn. Didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. Looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. We ran to the center of the plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
1 0. The number 9 door is closing.
Novel stuff happening, you read, visual watch instead of read. As a writer, I'm offended. Also, Sigma doesn't talk, so I have to talk for him too, so I still have to read. Danganronpa is gonna be so nice. I just get to relax, make jokes.
Has closed. This ends the Nonary game.
This is the second time I've been allowed to leave.
Your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Do I really want to write stories in which your readers have to solve puzzles and progress to the good parts? Kinda? I think it would be fun. It's all about using the medium to your greatest advantage. And while some of the puzzles in this were shitty, like the fucking dartboard and the dice, and the fact they made me do those ones twice, that's a choose your own adventure? Yeah, exactly. The puzzles are what makes it a game. And
Looks like we did it.
Yes, we should keep moving.
beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left we found a very familiar looking door. We pushed it open and went in. I'm working with Muddy on it. The pressure exchange chamber.
You know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means that if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare for going to the actual pressure exchange room. You see all those suits along the wall? I figure we need to put those on and head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Hold on a minute. You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were all already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless.
Why? How did all this happen?
Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
No one else objected. We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. Breaker, breaker, this is Maddie. Isabel Zephyr reporting. As soon as we were all inside, the process began. Though my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes waiting for the process to finish. At last it did, and we heard this door begin to open. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it. Okay, nope, we're still on Mars. The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me. I'd seen it before in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio. For a few long moments, we just stood there, astonished.
Where the hell are we?
The desert, I guess?
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
Hmm?
Look at the moon. It's red, right? That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So?
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was gonna be on December 31st, 2028. So...
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars, the sky was full of them. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot a hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive, much bigger in fact than I remembered it being. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It was hard to see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, headed for its right edge. What's that?
Moon. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he wouldn't just kill me. He'd kill Quark, too. And I agreed, like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. Just so I could see her. Such an idiot. So, that being the case, might as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
What the hell are you saying?
Think about it. If that's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
That's Earth?
Yeah. It's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. And again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon, covering the sun.
What? No way, we're on the moon? If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we?
The moon, of course. This is the lunar surface. We were just inside a moon base. No way. No, you've gotta be lying. How do you expect us to believe that?
How did Dio get to the moon?
This can't be the moon.
Yeah. That's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity. So what's this?
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way.
Luna?
You were right about the gravity in a way. I was one of the people who knew this wasn't Earth. Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but
Excuse me? What?
please just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Excelivir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well, Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed. Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408. That means our brains are running at something slightly less than half speed. As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means drop an apple from a height of 4.2 meters.
Okay.
Approximately 1 second to hit the ground.
Okay.
On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6.
You remember what I said about that test?
Approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely. But it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters and it would be the same. Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second.
Oh,
4.9 seconds would feel like 2.
oh God. 37 hours felt like 40.
But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us.
Wait, you're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity?
Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigmund Phi said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird. It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that.
Seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well. Could have said this, been more realistic by just saying the virus messed with your perception of time.
Wait, this is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth, and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something.
Please do, Tenmyoji. You know what? Just lower jump everything. It's gonna be great.
It isn't New Year's Eve in 2028. Today is January 27th.
In 29?
No,
Don't tell me.
30?
still no.
I'm guessing 78.
Just what year is this?
It's 74. 2074.
I was close! No. That's insane! That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it's the truth.
How can you be sure?
We nuked the Earth into a molten red body. Oh, buddy. Yep.
It's not that hard.
That is Earth in a few years in the future if climate change stays. It's true, everyone. Fight big corporations. They're more at fault than anything you do. Granted, that doesn't mean don't change your behaviors and, you know, be more conserving of things like that. Try to get solar panels if you can afford a house. If you're someone like me, you know, take the bus, because it's, you know, less.
Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known that there'd be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change that.
Hello, Binks.
But why is the Earth red?
That's a long story. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world.
Go on.
On the 13th, all 18 of them went up at
Woo!
the same time.
It was nuked into a molten red ball of putty.
The explosion was about 180,000 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped on Hiroshima.
Why?
Suppose it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada.
I remember this, finding the recording on this one.
On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident. Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. The point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take long for it to spread to the rest of the world. Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually, it also makes you kill yourself. Pretty soon, the bodies started to pile up. Some people would take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head. You know, the classics.
Classic.
But for some, it was poison, or fire, or asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed, and thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation.
Hey, Purry Boy.
Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses, covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know
It's
what
The
else like,
Happening.
but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There was only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth, and that'd kill the virus off for good.
That sounds like a tip. Welcome to Earth Today's menu. Death with a side dish of despair.
On April 13th in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
This was a stupid idea.
Now the truth is, that's mostly just rumor. Nobody really knows what happened, but I've got my own theories. I think that the bombers had already been infected, and when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate if I die, you're coming with me gesture, I suppose.
Yeah, that I see no way this could go wrong.
I bet your money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors.
Well, I killed the virus, maybe. No one left to check. Oh.
Most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan, even if it wasn't directly responsible. Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened isn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever heard of nuclear winter? Well, that's basically what we got. The explosion threw a ton of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires.
Oh, that explains why he was like a scavenger.
It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered and animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive.
Oh, that's why the root beer float was so important.
They were rough times. Eventually, they were over.
Waiting for the therefore.
The sky cleared and the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and the animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why a sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it'll get a lot farther when the air's dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light that can make it through the atmosphere.
Well, that explains it. I was speechless. What could I possibly say? There was no reason for Ted Miyagi to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074. But why? Why were we there? Why were we then? I swear to God, if to be continued's me again, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I was so lost in thought I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
We're gonna go back in time and stop Radical 6 from existing? A window popped up on the inside of my helmet, with Whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B. I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma!
Hey, let me joke! The Earth is a molten slag!
Knock it off! Memento mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get... The man on the moon rules the infinite time. See?
Alright, go on.
6 E's to get that. So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
Couldn't we just have infinite Tim? Like, we like Tim. The man on the moon rules the infinite time?
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Vi.
This doesn't explain why I got robot arms. So, what are you getting at?
My god, you're slow. You don't get it? They're saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're going to send us back 45 years?
Yeah. I'd bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking about.
I think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came from that same time period before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
Alright, you stop playing with stuff on the desk. Absolutely got radical. The grave! The one in the garden! I didn't remember this fucking garden grave.
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
We gotta go back in, guys. We turned and ran back to the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind.
What are you doing?
So they launched us into space, gave us psychic powers, profit.
Did you forget something?
We're going to go have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out? The person behind all this.
Akane. I'll take
What?
it as a yes. Let me accompany you then.
Wait, why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there.
Because you're me.
If you please. I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
Alright.
I'm going to then.
Alright, Team 9.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you...
Ah, that's why Tenmyoji and Clover know each other, because... Okay.
You're serious? What the hell is going on?
Ah, shut up! Just shut up! Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. Wonder if Dio's gonna be mad. Let him mauled, it'll be great. Why did it make me listen to that whole sound effect? I've been here an extra hour and a half. Why no one ping you? Because I got a server that does it. It was me, Dio. We've been going through time, Palex. It's been great.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Yeah. Thought we might be able to take the lift to it. And it looks like I was right.
Any idea where Akane might be?
Yeah. The grave.
I mean, the grave in the garden.
Yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. Anyway, let's move. To the garden! Yes, I know Tenmyoji's Junpei. I figured, okay, I've guessed he's Junpei. It makes enough sense. They've talked to each other, we heard. You can put an F there. Swearing in my chat's allowed. I didn't know there was a K emote. There's still a third game.
Is Akane really under here?
I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. See the keyhole in the grave? If I just insert this here, pull the key off my ankle and fit it into the keyhole. Twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. She just put herself in a... Why was there... You know what?
It doesn't look like a coffin.
It's a treatment pod. We've seen... Wait, have we seen time travel?
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
Maddie, when will I learn not to ask? He had the key in the keyhole this whole time. She kept holding the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Ah!
Once stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Right, cold sleep.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CIS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So, Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
Then we gotta wait till she melts?
Yep.
So how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered
What do you remember?
everything.
Can you take off the hat?
I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9.
Alright.
A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots.
Do we
It
need to
makes
know that?
sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one. Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Well, I already know this, but back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out, and stop the reactors from exploding. That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
No!
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories.
It's not like I got this explained to me 20 minutes ago.
For a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension.
Hey, and then I must have the strongest, weakest fourth dimension connection ever.
That was the reason for the puzzles. Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential.
Oh wait, does that mean the 10 minutes is really gonna be 16 minutes?
With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
Yeah, I heard that one before.
Wait, Hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes. I suppose I should explain. Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand. First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028.
Alright.
The location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Correct?
Alright.
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes.
Well, you look good for your age.
In preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past. Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another.
Muscle degeneration is not a thing with these pods.
You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
That's what the CAS is for.
What about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh?
But I didn't do anything.
But you did. In another history, you were able to perform prime decomposition on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind.
Alright, so this was all planned in the past, 45 years ago, knowing that this was going to happen, to send me into the past.
Only you could do that sort of thing.
I got questions.
With mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline.
I love how he said bomb, but it wrote detonation.
We would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your
Mindfuck. So you gotta say it 1/6 slower. Mindfuck. This is fine.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh?
Yeah.
He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to
Quark, you knew we were going to the moon and you didn't tell me.
I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, and headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left.
Yeah, we got that far.
He's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother.
I really hope this ends in less than an hour. I don't want to have to cut off again for another Tournament of Champions race.
45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project.
But how do they know about the time travel? Like...
So, Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game.
If they learned how to summarize, this could be done so
If
fast.
Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed. At least, not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Can I ask you something?
Go for it.
Perhaps.
How did Brother know about the AB project?
He was also an Esper.
Okay.
We can set Brother aside for now, though.
But no. Just do this in one fucking take, damn it.
May I proceed?
In the last 20 minutes, bad guys do bad things and we kick bad by butt, let go. Imagine if the game was done in 6 hours, you'd be mad because money to time quota, but then you could travel back in time and not buy it. No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save 2. Luna and myself. Sigma and Phi already know the truth about Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be alright with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Okay.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
I did. He was an Inquisitor. Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. See, look, he's an Inquisitor. You can't say he's not an Inquisitor. I still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Yeah, let's do it. All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
I laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
What? What? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B. In front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? Mindfuck. It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubacurine, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor in the warehouse, then who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
Akane was in the armor the whole fucking time? No. Oh my god, you're...
Yes, I am.
Akane Kurashiki.
just drops all off like a fuck. Oh my god, alright.
It's you, June. I mean, Akane from. But you're old.
Yes, she's 45 years older.
Yes, that's correct.
This is me, and you're Akane, then who am I? Yeah, basically. What's with the multiple Sigmas?
I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Akane, long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
With the
Once
drop
you
kick.
saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did, at least. I carried your bodies to the third AB room, and then took Dio's to the fifth. After that, I went into the first room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you, and then Luna took your body to the sixth room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me. It's just like Schrodinger's cat. Your actions in the future decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
But, no, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
Liar!
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Soporil can cause memory loss.
You just
I gave
dosed
him
the
a
man?
rather large dose.
You just fucking drugged the man.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
Me either.
Total stranger.
Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here? Same face?
Huh?
Are you alright, Mr. Sigma? Did you hit your head or something?
Huh? What? Didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. A pond! I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly, I peered into the pond, looking for my reflection. What? I was the Inquisitor all along? Old man. No! This guy, it'd be, I was Zero? This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although, to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now. Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit!
No. It's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor!
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying!
No, I'm not.
Hold on, wait a minute. It's me! I'm an Inquisitor in the future!
You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create?
His name is Kyle Climb, your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle.
Good old Kyle.
Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it. It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the Nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place.
How did I not notice I have a robot eye?
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin.
No mirror, no touching the
The
face.
past consciousness will go into the future body.
That explains my robot arms!
Will go into the past body. They switch. That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so then the future person goes into the past person?
Sigma, do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes. Ah, of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember this.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
Alright, so let's follow this through. We got up into Nevada test site, take a hard left, go up into Rhizome 9, then go up to C, and curve all the way back down to go to D to B, back around to the Nevada test site to E. And then split into two different directions.
A is where everything began.
Maybe the game was Find Out Astonish You climbing somewhere or something.
December 25th, 2028.
Kaba, where's the next
You
mindfuck?
inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074. You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is
Everything is
67
clear
years
now.
old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out.
Woo! Cheating!
Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact.
God, fuck, it's so close!
Have you already forgotten. You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down. So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed.
I'm at 37. I've gone over the time limit.
But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029.
Alright.
You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Alright.
The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B.
Alright.
Do you remember when B is Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A? December 25th, 2028, the day this all started?
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
So it's rotating?
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight line.
Mindfuck.
With one exception.
This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility?
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out? By jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028.
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point, so that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
What? tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. Why is it playing the terrible music? There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch.
There's
your
a third
consciousness
game.
like a bolt from a slingshot.
Yep. And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death. That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out? I mean this.
Dio's knife? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Fi! I screamed and leapt towards them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving towards Fi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body, lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eris. What you were, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be. So, okay. Alright. I'm gonna pop in here with writer brain. So none of this fucking matters. We played 37... I'm not even stopping the timer yet because I don't know if this is actually the end. We played 37 hours of plot. 38 hours of plot. Even when seeing all this a second time, nothing makes sense. But it was 38 hours of my life for a story that basically means, hey, this closed time loop doesn't matter. Cut it. Throw it away. Akane being in this is the major connection to the first game. Akane and Junpei. And morphogenetic field nonsense. But, like, the entire point of the first one was stopping Akane from dying and, you know, the mystery of that. That was good. I liked that. The point of this one is to prevent this game from happening. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone who's played this, tell me I'm wrong. Save billions of lives, maybe? Yeah. But, okay. But so the issue is we've time travel shenanigans. Again, author, I have to know this kind of thing. So, I'm past Sigma. I got that part. And I've gone through this because consciousness swapping, and old me went back in time to the moment to prevent this from happening. Thus creates a time paradox. If Radical 6 is never released, I will never get the ability. So this entire game is a paradox, which... yeah, this game's plotline is to be a self-deleting paradox. Son, no! No! Good thing I didn't stop the timer. It was Phi's ending, not mine. But I've seen Sigma's ending.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me. Have managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Jesus Christ! For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. You! Akane?
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still!
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Just in an empty apartment with a couple of treatment pods?
Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are, and she still is.
Then that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
I'm so confused. Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines.
Wow, no pressure at all. Oh my god, hold on, wait a minute. This is basically how I've written the Syntech version of Maddie, where she just does these exact 2 things.
Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the 3rd AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Ah, crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
Wait, what did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
My arms and my right eye? What the hell? Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly towards the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. Maddie saying what we all think. Nothing! No! No!
Where?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle.
Ah, yes. Of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve, and my reflection stared back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to...
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Klim was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him. But even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Climb? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb in his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio, still handcuffed. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
Today is the last day of the AB project.
Let's recap what we experienced 10 minutes ago.
Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
I couldn't have just had
Why
voice
am I
acting the
here?
whole time.
The doctor carried you back here.
Oh, I guess because if I had an older voice, it would throw it off.
You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes, I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
The only reason for no voice acting for Sigma was just not sounding old.
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right. Mr. Klein.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Aside from flashbacks, we never see his face, nor do we get to hear his voice. This is intentional in order to hide from the player that he, or at least his body, suddenly aged 45 years after the opening cutscene.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way.
It's true.
Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change. In fact, it's because of what he did, or didn't do in the past, that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of motorcycles driving down an endless freeway.
I understood it.
Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. Let's go northwest, he says.
It's been 30. Okay, it was 36 hours of the original thing, and then he said I've waited 5 hours. Is this gonna take another 3 hours?
So they take the northwestern road, but about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers.
I know how
Many
timelines work,
die.
Tenmyoji.
The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy.
All right.
And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right?
No.
It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right.
This reminds me of a Flat Earth documentary I heard, full of pseudoscience and full of dumb, needlessly flawed metaphors.
Okay, 9 people then.
Yeah.
What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure. That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories. Friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that?
I mean, he's got a point.
The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to?
I
Is
guess.
there really any point to a world where everything is happy? Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human
But
is
did we
about
change the
fighting, even when it
past?
seems
I gotta
hopeless,
know.
and finding happiness even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, all right? You get it?
That's fine.
Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just going to disappear or something.
Oh, then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, Kit.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see him again someday, and then came
Oh
here.
my god, his teeth!
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course, he is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah.
Yes.
But more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
I guess.
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years.
Yeah.
Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
Damn.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of.
Oh.
Still, it's not
fuck.
like we were completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But
Kinda sucks, though.
Just a little bit.
I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to.
Yes, the one that I'm guessing the next game is in.
In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong.
I have
We
like
know why we had
15
to be
minutes.
here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the
It's
reality
true.
where the 90 bikers died.
are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
It's true.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Oh, son of a
Let's say
bitch.
you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different. How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time too.
What?
It's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have 2 Clovers and 2 Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
How?
Road dingers?
Cat.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind.
Just a few.
I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have.
Okay.
Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Rude!
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a Merman or a Wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out, and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places, and you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
Okay.
It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds.
I haven't understood anything in the last 38 hours!
Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use V1 plus V2.
You're gonna get hit for this push 36 hours.
You see what I'm saying? In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about, right? As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E.
Okay, so it exists.
In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. You understand?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
I swear to God, if it's another one, I don't have the time. I'm gonna have to. I can't do another stream of this.
I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Klein.
I figured that much.
Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not. Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle? Or could you be someone else?
I might be the doctor.
Then where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time.
So he's getting kidnapped?
You know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Klein's spare, but that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
That is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You're telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are
Yay.
an uncontrolled variable.
Hooray.
You entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too.
I'm player 1.
You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save
Goddammit, the seed's been
world.
rolled.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve?
No! I want the game to end!
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
Is it one where I get to end this game in 3 minutes?
Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
How much more game is there? Alternative end? I gained all trophies. Only you can prevent wildfires. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Stop the count. Stop the count. 38 hours. We're done. It's over. I have a life again. Now go play the next game. Next week. Next week it will be... We're going to start the third game, which... So this is... It's Zero Time Dilemma. Which... I guess we're going to figure out what the fucking deal is with that one. This... So much. So much. Yes, I broke. I didn't half. Alright, though. I ain't got much time, so thank you all for coming out. Next stream, assuming there's not any Tournament of Champions stuff that you might be able to catch me in, will be Tunic on Sunday, also unless another thing drops. You think you've seen some Zero Time Dilemma? Yep, and then, Vampire Survivors Tuesday, and Thursday we'll start Zero Time Dilemma. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be better than this. I'm going to keep telling myself. Yeah, Marl, good luck on the trade. Thank you. Alright. Catch y'all later.